Hello everyone, today I'll address the question, what to do if your car skids on a slippery road. Let's go. Friends, it's definitely impossible to give a definitive answer on what to do if your car skids while you're driving. Now you'll understand why. Let's start by discussing under what conditions this can happen. Many of you probably think of ice or snow as the most common culprits, but a car can skid even on a dry summer road due to an oily spot just covered with dust and dirt. When water hits these patches, everything becomes slick like oil, so it's important to note that even in the summer, at above zero temperatures, you could encounter a slippery patch. That's why it's not possible to definitively answer this question, friends. Well, as you know, cars vary a lot. The car could be large or small, depending on what kind of drive it has. It greatly affects driver behavior. Drive type, front, rear, or all-wheel, transmission, manual or auto, road surface, current speed, terrain, slope, hill, or flat. Consider all these factors. When a driver faces this dangerous situation and the car starts to skid, either from the rear or front, they need emergency handling skills, or practical extreme driving skills come from training and experience. Without these, a driver's reaction in a critical situation will likely be stunned confusion. There's no time to think during a skid. You have just seconds to act, with no time to recall theory. So what's my drivetrain again? On a front-wheel drive, you need to do certain things, so I'm telling you now, even if briefly, that the driver's action won't help. For instance, consider a front-wheel drive. The rear axle begins to skid, which is when the car starts turning. The rear seems to want to race ahead of the front, meaning it begins to turn. This is called a skid. With front-wheel drive, you need a bit of throttle now and then, a bit of play, and sometimes a firmer press depending on the amount of turn, the surface type, and the steering direction, but not a skid, rather toward the road. Everyone says, but once again they spun the wheel too much or they've overcorrected, leading to a rhythmic skid because they didn't accelerate, didn't gas enough, squeezed the throttle. This has to be practiced in a controlled area. Not long ago, I took emergency training courses in the winter, even though I had already experienced some on the playgrounds by that point, meaning I had somewhat felt the car, but still somewhere I missed something about rear-wheel drive. It's actually the opposite with gas control. You need to fully release the gas when drifting. As for steering, turn towards where you want to go. Generally, you don't need to brake. People often react by doing nothing, hitting the brakes, clutch, and brake pedal. That won't help you control the car at all. For front wheel skids, when you turn the wheel, the car just... I was driving straight. It's still going, not changing course, but a steering exercise might help. So guys, our main job as drivers, not just beginners, is to avoid losing control, to ensure that it doesn't skid, no sliding or drifting. For this, you need thinking brains. When weather changes, snow falls, think how you drive, wheel grip, check the road. You can even test it with your foot. Plus, road conditions can vary, affecting tire grip. You might encounter icy patches, snowy areas, and so on. To minimize the risk of losing control when the car starts to slide, we need to follow 3 key winter driving rules. First, drive smoothly. Avoid any sudden movements with the controls. Keep everything slow and steady, as abrupt actions can lead to skids and slides. Now, about these consequences. When a car loses control, we increase the distance between vehicles. We keep a greater average distance than in summer. We reduce our average speed. If it's not slippery, we might drive at 90 to 100 kilometers per h. But if it suddenly gets slippery, sometimes we need to crawl at 50 or even 40 kilometers per h. And if you add poor visibility to a slippery road, you might need to crawl at 20 kilometers per h. That's right, folks. It's not about rushing. I know we're in a hurry, but safety comes first. I'm in a Jeep with all-wheel drive. My tires cost a fortune, about 100 grand each. When the road's a mess and there's tons of snow, these wheels come in handy. See this tread? It's got a hard surface with a layer in between. The drum has a tough coating too. What kind of rubber you got on your ride? What about the studs, like these, see? Even then it's not enough. the car can still slide out of control. So you gotta keep it slow, know how to start right, and stay in control. Moving on, let's add 5 golden rules to these 3 winter tips. I always stress these rules, so let me quickly recap. First, don't rush. Speed is key, but don't hurry. This applies not just to driving fast, but also to running yellow lights when you know it's about to turn red. It's risky. Also, when letting someone pass, if you're unsure about timing, that's rushing too. So don't rush your actions or speed. Stay focused on the road. If you spot danger in time, you can avoid issues. Cars often lose control when we miss braking cues and swerve or brake hard. The car becomes unmanageable. So if you're alert and not distracted, following this rule will protect you from such problems. Of course, it's also about following traffic rules, using common sense and general road safety. Be a thoughtful driver. Learn to understand rules, not just memorize answers. Fourth, you need a stable mental and physical state when driving. With a fever of 39 to 40 degrees Celsius, don't drive. Your focus will be off. Nothing good will come of it, and you'll feel lousy. The 5th rule is having a well-maintained car. This is crucial for your safety. It must be reliable and in good condition. Following these 5 golden rules, which overlap as you can see, will help you avoid dangerous situations. I've explained it briefly, and I hope you understand there's no magic solution to instantly stop a car from skidding. If someone claims there's a miracle fix, you'd be naive to believe it. Learn basic driving skills, then take yearly courses, summer and winter emergency training. Be prepared for these situations. Remember, our main goal isn't to drive recklessly or try to recover from skids, but to prevent losing control. That's key. Know why it happens and follow the rules I've mentioned. So friends, that's about it. If experienced drivers have tips, please add them in the comments. If viewers have questions or need clarification, write those too. We'll continue the discussion there. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and as always, I wish you all safe travels. Bye for now.